representing a scene design from City of Angels. And with that, I proudly represent Troop 6614. So, whenever I was first looking at the plays, I remember City of Angels, the title, from the movie. I don't know if you guys have seen the movie or not, but that caught my interest in picking this scene and this play. But the main focus that I wanted to do whenever I started reading it was the very first scene, and first few scenes actually, because they all kind of interlope with each other, and then from there the entire play just falls underneath it. In this, whenever I was looking at the time period, it was closer to the 50s, 60s area, where a lot of different detective movies were based off of, and whenever I thought of that, I thought of a film noir. And so, to bring out my design some more, I picked out some pictures to help design my set. So I thought of the classic detective film noir. I found a few film noirs, just random film noirs, and I watched bits and pieces of them. And I got a good idea of what the time period looked like, all the different scenes and setups. As you can see here is a detective lounge, and these are the different ideas that I got to help design. For my design, however, I have a platform that I have at 12 feet tall, and around the platform, as you can see, is a sort of a scaffolding like metal structure, and that would be representing of the city. I myself go to the city often, and I enjoy looking at all the different buildings and skyscrapers, and I always see something close to this. It may not be exactly like that, but the scaffolding is what always catches my eyes, and always the building of the cities. And so as you can see, it's 12 feet tall in height, and it covers the entire stage. And another piece that I really want to focus on was this piece. Because there's many different scenes, you go outside and inside different rooms. For the first scene I started off with was whenever Stone, the detective, was in his office, and then I think her name was Augustine. Augustine comes in and she's asking for Stone's help, saying that she needs to find her child. And that's whenever they first meet each other, and so I wanted a room separate from the outside. And whenever I was watching other movies, and other older movies, usually the lobby is more of a brick, like a very old-fashioned, bare wall, brick wall. And then the other room, to contrast with the dark features that the actors would be wearing, would be a lighter room so that your eye just focuses on that. The focus piece, however, would be this wall. It would be 10 feet tall, coming up to the bottom of the scaffolding, and it would be 8 feet long, coming out towards downstage. What that would do, however, would be a cut between the two rooms, and here's the cool part. Inside, since it's 2 feet wide, you would fit two rolls of either wallpaper or painted canvas, and you can move this wall back and forth, extending this room and the brick wall. So if you are outside, you can extend the brick wall all the way to the other side, or if you want a house or another room, you would extend it all the way to the other side, giving you more yellow wall. The yellow wall, though, would be a little too vibrant, so I was thinking more of a mustard yellow. I don't have a mustard yellow colored pencil, so I made it orange and yellow, giving it a little dirty look. But I really liked the window, as you can see from the other designs, because you can put a light in it, especially with the scaffolding. You can put a light in it and give it a very weird lighting effect, where it would come onto the actors and it would just line their eyes and their faces. But the scaffolding itself would be 8 feet long, 8 feet wide, and it would be a playing space for the angels. The beginning scene, or the third scene, you have Stein and Buddy. Buddy is the head angel, and Stein is the angel creating the entire story down here. And so you have enough playing space for different furniture pieces that go up here, as well as enough playing space for a decent amount of actors and not fall off. This was a rough draft of one of my previous designs, and it includes furniture. You would have the table and the chair that would be in the office, as well as the outside lobby. And that would be the scaffolding ends. And I was originally thinking that this would be where the staircase started on both sides, instead of having it go all the way flush to the walls. And I included furniture for perspective. Any questions?
Go for it. So question. These are two separate rooms,
They are two separate.
and they're two separate acting spaces.
Yes.
Do they ever cross over with one another?
Yes. I also forgot to include there would be a door here, or we would include the door here. I was originally putting the door here, because in the original set piece it would unfold and be a wall of its own, but that was whenever both of the walls were the same color and it would just move back and forth and open up. Then whenever I changed it so that you'd have two separate rooms, I included the door and wide enough that you can put the two poles of fabric or wallpaper, and that would be interchangeable.
Okay, so the fabric that would be in here would be the thing that moves, not the wall? Does the wall move?
The wall will move. The fabric is stationary, but it's in rolls, so that you would have, let's say this was...
So like one of those rolly shades?
Yeah, rolly shades, yeah. Like you would just buy an entire roll of wallpaper and it would roll out and roll back in whenever you're changing.
So if this was the brick room and I wanted it to be longer, I would take this wall and just move it down to here, and then all of this would be brick?
Yes.
Okay.
And vice versa?
And vice versa, yes. You would have
So basically like a roll of yellow here and a roll of brick there, and whichever way you pull it is, okay. Okay.
That makes sense.
And the door would be in the middle of this so that you would see it go through. And it would be wide enough that you would see them disappear for a second as they would go through the door, so that it would give it a slight illusion that they're going into a hallway.
Now, does this allow for sight lines when you move this? So if I was sitting right here and you had a scene over here, would I be able to see what was going on here? Or would this wall be moved over enough so that the sight lines could allow me to see?
I was originally thinking of a smaller auditorium. The auditorium that I was basing it off of was my own, and it's more like here, but yeah, it would cut off that bit, but the scene wouldn't be all the way in the back, it would be closer towards the front of the wall, so that you can see it.
So it gives you a separation, but it doesn't, you don't have to play all the way in the back.
Right. You have all this playing space in here. You don't have to be confined to the corners of the room, you can be all the way out here. This is just to give it a, like, exact separation between the two rooms.
I haven't seen one, but I'm assuming somewhere in your paperwork that you have drawn a scale model of a person.
Of a person, ooh.
I believe you have. You'll just be able to find it somewhere before the end of the day.
Yes,
Yeah.
we find it before
Cool.
the end of the day.
Cool, because yeah, I'm sure you made it.
Oh yeah.
It's just not in.
100%.
Yes, good. Good. Yes. But let me see what else. I was going to ask another question. Oh, as far as let me see. I don't need to take it out. But you got 3 feet. Oh, what scale is this? What, are you
This
considering
is
it?
4th inch.
Quarter scale?
Yep.
Quarter scale? Okay. I like the concept. I like your wall sconce. That's the light you're talking about, right?
No, that was actually the paperwork. The light would be back
Oh,
here.
the paperwork.
underneath
I got you now. I thought
That's
when
paperwork
the light comes from the back to give the
Yes.
line.
But to think about light, especially in that sort of film noir, that's such a huge design and storytelling element. That to be able to get light and shadow. And that's where you can actually use your movable wall as an advantage in that of having this shadowy corner that someone could appear out of, the very, Humphrey Bogart kinds of things that were those types of films. Like the idea of the industrialness of it with the scaffolding. The reason you keep seeing that, the triangles from an engineering standpoint, triangles are tremendously strong structures. That's why we use them in buildings, because they don't fall down that way. Those kinds of things. So adding that element helps give us an industrialized urban.
And what city do you go into often?
Mostly Chicago.
Okay.
Oh yeah, it's all over.
It looked very Chicago. It
Sears Tower, whatever they're calling it.
It didn't look necessarily New York, but I didn't know what city you meant. You could have meant the city of Oaxaca.
I go to New York and Chicago often for different events.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really good concept. And I'm just asking, is there a reason why you neglect or chose not to make a diorama?
I made one 2 years ago, and I Diorama is really hard for me.
Okay. No, that's fine,
so-
and you've got enough information, especially for what it needs to be. I just wanted to make sure that I asked all the questions that
Right.
Yeah, and that's one of those things where when you're presenting, play to your strengths, okay?
Exactly.
But continue, if this is a passion for you, is this something you want to do, then work on those model making skills. Not necessarily just for this
Right.
particular event, but continue to develop those, because when you're communicating with others in your design team, the directors especially, they appreciate renderings and they understand them, but they love models because they can take your little scale figure, which you have, and put it in there, and, okay, so that it's there, and they go, ooh, okay, I get it, I can put people here and here and here.
And now with the way even Google SketchUp works, if you're not confident in your model making skills, then work on your, I mean, it seems like your drafting skill is fine. So work on being able to 3D-ize what you're drawing,
Right.
and get some kind of conceptualization of a three-dimensional space for the director and for your design team and for
Because your
everybody
lighting
else.
designer's gonna need that.
Yeah, they'll
Yes,
need
they
it.
gotta know, well, can I get light in?
Because this is good. It just that extra bit of oomph will really help you land that job.
Right.
And
So,
help
yeah.
you, so find a way to, find whatever tool you can that works for you to communicate in that fashion.
Right.
That's just part of your next developmental growth.
Now I see you got a lot of drawings, you really like drawing,
Yes.
something like to do. So I think it would be really great is if you had a couple more drawings for us to see. I would like to see this wall moved into different positions, so I can
Okay.
see what it would look like over here or over
Absolutely,
here with
yes.
the extended wallpapers. So I think that would be very, very helpful.
And also, in your description, I understand that you described it pretty well. I was able to get it immediately. But if you could include a drawing of how that looks inside this,
So mostly.
make your role in there and make your other
Okay.
role in this. Like to give your design and your building team something more to go off of than a concept. Because when you give me a concept, I'm a builder, I'm a fabricator. So when you give me a concept, I luckily got this one, but I could have been like, oh, so you turn the wall this way and that's what makes it, or you turn the wall that way and it makes it, I don't understand completely.
Right.
And so to give me as much as you can think of and put that on paper, that's where you want to go. And this is still really good, and your explanation and your presentation was really good, but to be able to, even two more drawings of a little more concept of this, that would have been like a million times better. But still,
We can never have too much information when it comes
Yes.
to anything
Right.
like this. We're constantly creating, in all design areas and in technical fabrication, we're constantly creating imagery and information that everyone can understand.
And you also have a treasure chest here with this play because you want this really great lighting. One way to land the job and sell a director right away is to create an image that has this dramatic lighting with the person in it.
Okay.
Because then they're gonna see that and yes,
Yeah,
that's
and those are
exactly
just
what I wanna
skills to
do.
develop.
Right.
You will as you go through time, you continue drawing.
Yeah, what year are you?
I'm a senior.
Okay.
All right.
I'm a builder at my school, builder and a light designer, so
Okay, cool.
I enjoy the lighting aspect of this.
Play
But,
that to your advantage, put it in your drawings because it's really gonna
Absolutely.
spice things up and people are really gonna love it.
But I also appreciate being a builder and a lighting designer, that you're stretching yourself, you're moving into a different area and learning to understand how that works. Because that can only inform you as a lighting designer, it can only inform you as a
It's a lot
craftsman.
easier. Sorry. It's a lot easier to build it than it is to design it.
Yes, it is,
That's why I built it.
Absolutely.
I don't always, I've designed a few shows, I've built more than 80. So yeah, I know what you're talking about. It's not all that, it's not always as easy to make your concept come to fruition. And that's more or less our job, but the more information you give us, the better it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah,
Thank
thank
you very
you.
much.
Thank you.